Welcome to the Jaguar King podcast. I'm your co-host Armin, and this week we're going to a Nash Bash. Much like Tannehill and the Titans, we all love ourselves a good bachelorette party. And this week's game is going to be just as exciting. Similar headlines from last week. We got one team who's contending in the AFC and the other team tanking. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see what happens. But before we dive into this week's matchup, let's look at some of the past. The Jaguars haven't beat the Tennessee Titans in Nashville since 2013 when Captain Chad Henne was running the ship. And as we all know, even if it was fun, it always hit an iceberg, and that was that. But that was long ago. Way different team, way different quarterback. Last year, Jacksonville Jaguars and Tennessee Titans actually split the series. So the first matchup, Gardner Minshew's home debut, he came out, jacked up on Mountain Dew, led the team to victory. On the second matchup, there was a quarterback switch for both teams. The Titans went from Mariota to Tannehill, who's their starter now. Jacksonville went from Uncle Rico to Napoleon Dynamite. The first half of that game was actually close. I think it was like 7-3 heading into halftime or something like that. But then the second half was a complete blowout, and Tennessee just steamrolled them. But that was last year's matchup, and then this year's matchup should be interesting. The Jacksonville Jaguars are coming off a victory against the Indianapolis Colts, which everyone thought that the Colts would have no issues with them. Even Shad Khan himself even slipped some betting money over to the Colts winning this one. Question is, did the Colts play to Jacksonville's level, or did Jacksonville play to Colts level? Only time will tell. The Tennessee Titans are coming off a victory against the Denver Broncos, where they squeaked by 16-14. So it was a pretty close game, but much of that was due to their kicker playing without his shoe. If he would have made those kicks, it probably would have been a larger deficit, and it would have looked more impressive on paper. But to me, it still wasn't that impressive of a win, just because I don't think the Broncos are going to be that good this year. So it was week one, no preseason, weird offseason. Nobody has any film on each other except maybe the Patriots. So that makes for prime overreaction week. So only time will tell moving forward in the season how good these teams actually are. So that kind of sets it up. So let's get into what Jacksonville Jaguars need to do to beat the Tennessee Titans this week. So I think the first key to victory is to stop Derrick Terminator Henry. Do the Jags have T1000 or whatever that guy's name is? I don't know. But last Sunday, Miles Jack sure looked like he was made out of liquid metal. And we're going to need some of that, whatever the hell that guy is, to stop Derrick Henry. Also, I think Josh Jones played a huge game, especially in the run game. I expect to see more of the bigger guys on the line. The rookie Devon Hamilton, Avery Jones, maybe Dwayne Smoot more on the line. I think they're going to stack the box and, really try to stop that run game. The second half of the Colts game, the D-line and the linebackers really stepped up to stop that rushing attack. So if Miles Jack, Joe Sherbert, Josh Jones, and the D-line are able to stuff Derrick Henry at the line, chop him down, then there's a chance that they'll have a better chance at winning this game. The second key to victory, they need to get off to a fast start. I think Gardner Minshew needs to channel his inner Ricky Bobby. And I know somewhere deep down there, he's got that Ricky Bobby in him. If Jaguars get a lead early, I think this forces the Titans to step away from their comfort zone, which is that slow, methodical running game, and beat you with good defense, stay in the game, and then fourth quarter, Derrick Henry is just going to stiff arm you all the way down the field. I think if they stop, Derrick Henry and force Tannehill in those long situations, you have a better chance at winning, just because I think their game really is about Derrick Henry getting going, controlling the clock, playing that good defense. With that being said, though, Tannehill is a decent quarterback. I don't think he's the best out there, but he's at least a starting quarterback. And he does have some weapons outside. He has Corey Davis, who had a really good game against the Denver Broncos. And he also has a converted linebacker turned to wide receiver, A.J. Brown. If you do stop Henry in a running game, you also have to, make sure those guys don't have a good game. Then I think the third key to this victory is to win the turnover battle. If Minshew can play mistake-free football like he did, I'm not saying only have one in completion, but put the ball in the right spots, be accurate, be decisive, and keep the ball out of harm's way, then they'll always have a chance. But I think with the way their defense plays, he really needs to hone in on that. Their defense got no stops against the Colts, but they did win the turnover battle. Those turnovers led them to points, which was the difference of the game. So if the defense can't get off the field, much like against the Colts where they didn't punt at all, they're going to really need to cause those turnovers to help their offense. And if they do cause those turnovers, then that's where the offense really needs to score to keep them in games. So far, from what we've seen from the Jacksonville defense is that they're going to give up points. So the offense really needs to be on their game to kind of combat that defense side of the ball that I think still needs some help. So I feel like those are the three things that Jacksonville can do to win this game. It's a division game. Even if you don't have film on them this year, you kind of already know their tendencies, kind of know what the coaches like to do, kind of know what players tend to do, things like that. So they're typically close games because of that. One other advantage that Jacksonville has is that Titans are coming off a short week because they played Monday night in Denver. So I think Jacksonville Jaguars will be a little more rested. They are also playing without Adoree Jackson. And A.J. Brown had, I think, like a knee bruise. So, they'd have to monitor that to see if he can play. And the Jacksonville Jaguars injury standpoint, Gerard Wilson, their starting safety, is out. But Andrew Wingard, Mr. Wyoming himself, is going to make that start at the safety spot for Jacksonville. So let's see how he does. He had that pick last week. It was a beautiful read on that stare down from Phillip Rivers. So if he can do one of those on Tannehill, then I think we got a good chance. And then now let's move on to the predictions on who I think is going to win this game. Earlier in my predictions, I said that Tennessee Titans were going to win this game, but that was before Jacksonville surprised everyone week 1. I really want to go with the logical answer here and say that Tennessee Titans will win. And I think as a Jacksonville Jaguar fan, anytime you have some sort of glimmer of hope, you're like, hey, maybe this team's going to turn the corner, maybe this can happen, maybe that can happen, it comes crashing down. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's what I thought. So the logical thing here, I think, is to take the Tennessee Titans winning at home in front of their cardboard box fans. I'm not going to do it. Fuck it. I'm taking Jags 21-17, 2-0 in the division. Everyone's head's going to explode. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Jacksonville Jaguars' chances in this game. Are they going to get steamrolled? Are they going to surprisingly win? Are our hearts going to be broken? Are we going to be excited? Is it going to be another overreaction Monday because everyone thinks we're taking, even if we win, apparently? Definitely leave your comments below. Please like and subscribe. I talk everything Jaguars, so if you like the Jaguars or just want to hear some of my awful takes, go ahead and click the subscribe button, click the notification button, and I will see you after the game.